How could you forget what she did to us? How could you forget that I was supposed to be your queen?
You will go, you will find the fairy godmother, and you will bring me back her magic wand. Easy peasy.
Could Maleficent and Audrey team up in Descendants 4? You and Maleficent have a lot in common, Audrey. It's almost as if you're the daughter she's always wanted. How ironic is that? It's really too bad that Maleficent is still stuck in her lizard form. If you could find a way to change her back, you could work together to boot Mal off the throne. It's a win-win, really. We just hope you put your evil days behind you, or else Mal will rue the day that she ever stepped foot in Auradon. Maleficent and Audrey have a common enemy, but will that be enough for them to team up in Descendants 4? If D4 ever happens, we'd love to see Audrey and Maleficent join forces and attempt to take over Auradon. Keep watching to find out which major clue from Descendants 3 hinted towards Audrey and Maleficent working together.
I'm back! It can't be.
With the way things ended in Descendants 3, you would never suspect that Audrey still had a bone to pick with Ben and Mal. But we're not buying Audrey's good girl act.
I wanted to hurt you both. I wanted to hurt all of you.
But let's be real, she wanted to hurt them long before that. Audrey was shocked when Ben proposed to Mal, so much so that she went to steal the queen's crown from the museum. Ben and Mal finally apologized to Audrey when Hades saved her, but their apology was long overdue. Audrey might feel bad about what she did, but she still wants to be the queen, and Mal is still living the life that Audrey always wanted. So her good girl act is bound to fade sooner than later. Audrey literally screamed when Ben proposed to Mal, so imagine what she'll do when the lovers exchange I-dos. Audrey will probably receive an invite to the wedding, which is almost as bad as not being invited at all. She'll be forced to watch the man of her dreams marry someone else. But you know who won't be invited to the wedding? Maleficent, Mal's very own mother. We know for a fact that Maleficent doesn't like being left off the guest list, so we wouldn't be surprised if the little evil lizard slithered her way into Audrey's thoughts. What better way to stop a wedding than to let Maleficent crash it?
I'm back! It can't be.
But finding Maleficent and turning her back into an evil fairy won't be easy. Luckily for Audrey, she and Maleficent are fated to team up and even out the score. Maleficent terrorized Audrey's family, so she would be the last person Audrey went to for help, right? Well, not exactly. The Descendants franchise has a knack for irony, so Audrey and Maleficent could very well end up working together. After all, Evie ended up falling in love with Doug, who's the son of one of her mom's sworn enemies. It takes a very special person to work with Maleficent, and Maleficent is known for going solo. She's got some major trust issues and only really trusts her pet raven, Diablo, and her scepter, Dragon's Eye. But for some strange reason, her scepter called out to Audrey when she crossed paths with it. But most surprisingly, the scepter let Audrey use it without condemning her to 1,000 years of sleep. So clearly, Audrey and Maleficent share a special bond. After all, Mal walked by that very same scepter in that very same museum, and it never called out to her. What makes Audrey and Maleficent even better allies is that they both have common goals. First and foremost, Maleficent wants to get revenge on Mal, who totally betrayed her in the first Descendants movie.
Leave my friends alone! This is between you and me, Mother.
Obviously, Mal made the right choice, but she did keep her mom as a pet lizard instead of returning her to the Isle. Both Maleficent and Audrey want to show Mal who's boss, and they most definitely aren't okay with her ruling over Auradon and the Isle of the Lost after what she did to them. We just hope that Maleficent doesn't want to be queen, because that would put Audrey and Maleficent at odds. The first thing Audrey would need to do is get her hands on Maleficent's scepter again. Then she could use it to locate Maleficent and undo the spell that turned her into the lizard in the first place. Then Audrey could fill Maleficent in on the last year's events, and they could plan to ruin Mal and Ben's wedding. Since Audrey still wants to be liked by the people of Auradon, it's in her best interest to act innocent. Once Mal's out of the picture, Audrey could put a love spell on Ben and con her way onto the throne. Maleficent always feared that Mal wasn't evil enough. She pushed Mal to commit terrible crimes and saw her daughter's good nature get in the way time and time again. That's a problem she'll never have with Audrey. Audrey has been a mean girl since day one. She takes what she thinks she deserves and lashes out when things don't go as as planned. Audrey is the daughter Maleficent always wanted, and together they could come close to taking over Auradon. We can already imagine the look on everyone's face when Maleficent crashes her daughter's wedding, just like she did at Aurora's christening. The fact that Maleficent's scepter chose Audrey has to mean something. Audrey will stop at nothing to be the Queen of Auradon, but if usurping Mal is on her agenda, Maleficent and Audrey better succeed. No ifs, ands, or buts. Because if they fail, Mal won't hesitate to turn both of them into lizards and let her future children keep them as pets. Do you think Audrey is done with being the Queen of Mean, or will she strike again on Ben and Mal's wedding day? Sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed our video. Don't forget to subscribe to The Things. We'll catch you next time.